Hi, this is Rachel coming to you with this week's Sparkle of Shabbat. And this week I wanted to talk a little bit about Gemilut Chasadim, or acts of loving kindness, and when they're unexpected and when they happen with strangers. I think that can be one of the most special ways to give and receive kindness. So I wanted to tell you a little story and then circle back to Gemilut Chasadim. So this actually relates to a Louis Vuitton purse that I bought, or I should say that Seth treated me to. Notice the big grin on my face because I can't help it. I love fashion and things like that, and it was a humongously big treat. So this is probably about 5 years ago, I would say, 5 or 6 years ago. And we were traveling, and Seth said, you've been looking at that purse or thinking about it for a while. Why don't you treat yourself to it? And so I did, which was so fun. And we had to actually fly back home after this trip. And it occurred to me that I was going to need to fly with this big Louis Vuitton shopping bag because they give you a big box, and then the wrapping and the dust ruffle thingy that keeps the purse clean, and a big beautiful shopping bag. So, and the packaging, I think, is sometimes as fun as getting the special treats. And I certainly was not going to leave the packaging on our vacation. I wanted to make sure I took it with me, but it occurred to me that I couldn't get it in my suitcase, and I didn't want to wrinkle it. So I was going to have to bring it into the airport, this big bag, like a yellow bag, I think, that says Louis Vuitton in bright blue writing. And it was kind of embarrassing, actually, to bring this into the airport because it was such a treat, and I didn't want it to come off like I'm so fancy and I'm always walking around with like these fancy shopping bags like that scene in Pretty Woman. So I just sort of like in a very kind of modest way tried to make my way through the airport, and I expected actually that I would get like maybe weird looks from people, and what happened I was so touched by, and that was that so many women made comments as I walked by, like, good for you, girl, and oh, you must have had a nice weekend, and that's so great. And when I got into the bathroom, you may know that it's like hard to manage everything in the airport bathrooms, especially if you're trying not to touch anything. So I've got my purse and my shopping bag and whatnot, and I'm kind of fumbling around trying to get it into the bathroom stall. And ladies were still saying nice things in the bathroom. I said, oh, my husband was so nice, he treated me, and they said, he's a good man, keep him, or, just very adorable, kind remarks. And I have to say that it was so different than what I might have expected in terms of people giving me funny looks or what have you. And it was actually striking how kind people were and how complimentary they were, and encouraging, like cheering me on. It was really kind of a remarkable experience. So bringing it back to Gemilut Chasadim, where it's such an important value in Judaism, where we do acts of loving kindness for each other, for our families, towards the Almighty, towards ourselves. But when it's done with strangers, the kindness is just spontaneous, and the kindness of strangers, it's so special, and it's so effortless to do that. So my sparkle would be, may we remember the little tiny steps we can do to add kindness to everyone's day. Shabbat Shalom.